Good morning. Chayé Moharan, Resh Lamed Gimel. Amar, אם לא נמצא מפורש בדברי רבותינו ז"ל בפירוש שאסור לומר גירה בעינא דסיתנא, הייתי אומר גירה בעינא דסיתנא. The Gemara says in Masechet Kiddushin, if I'm not mistaken, that there was a certain Tana that he ended up getting tested very much when it comes to nisyonot with women, etc., if I'm not mistaken. And so it turns out that the Gemara says that he was saying to the Satan, which we're not saying now, but he was saying, Geira be'ena desitna, arrows in your eyes, Satan. You think you're going to get me? He was telling him, you're not going to get me, you're going to put you an arrow in the eye. Meaning he was provoking the Satan and mocking the Satan. Because of that, there was a big nisayon for him, and he ended up getting exploded, if I'm not mistaken. Now the Gemara says, you shouldn't say that. What should you say? You should say, Hashem, save me from the Satan. Don't say, don't attack the Satan, don't provoke him, don't provoke the enemy. You don't go to a terrorist and start provoking him. You ask Hashem to protect you. So the same thing with the Satan. Now the Gemara says that you shouldn't say that. Now Rabbeinu says, if the Gemara wouldn't say that you're not allowed to do it, I would say it. ואיני מבין כלל המעשיות שנמצאים בדברי רבותינו ז"ל מתנאים המוראים שהיה קשה וכבד ביניהם מאוד תאווה זו. To the point where Rabbeinu says, I don't even understand how the Gemara speaks about Tanaim that were scared of the test of women. Don't understand them. כמובן כמה מעשיות בגמרא כי אצלי אינו כלום. The Gemara speaks about Rabbi Amram Chasida, that he was called Chasid, that there was 2 shvuyot in his house, that there was ladies that were captured, that were captives, that he ransomed them. And the Beit Din needs to figure out their status, if they're still kosher, not kosher for Kohen, etc. So he put them in an attic in his house. He had on the outside of his house a ladder that it takes 10 people to carry. And the only way back in the day, there was no stairs, there was a ladder as the stairs. Now in order to make sure nobody's going to go upstairs to talk to these girls, the slaves took away the ladder. In the middle of the night, he was walking through, he saw one of the ladies, he took the ladder himself, which takes 10 people to carry, he put it up there, he starts to walk up in the middle of the night, and he's in the middle of the ladder, he starts to scream, fire, fire be'amram, fire be'amram. So he calls the firemen. There was no firemen back then, it was you call the neighbors. So everybody shows up, and they see the rabbi going up, so he gets embarrassed, and he runs down. It's very good to be in a situation where you can be embarrassed of an avirah, so you won't do the avirah. So he told him, Rebbe, you embarrassed us. He said, better you shouldn't be embarrassed here, and I won't be embarrassed in heaven. He understands, and Rabbeinu says, I don't understand these maasim. I can't understand that. Because saying, ve'enu neshav etzli nisayon, u'bevadai yesh sod b'ma shenimsa b'torah shetava zohi nisayon. But then Rabbeinu goes on and says, actually, it's a sod. Because even the Tanaim HaKadoshim, we can't say that they had the base ta'avot and desires that a regular teenager has. Ki bemet enu nisayon klal. Zimri ben Salum. How old was he when he did the Maseh with Shlomit? Kozvi Batsur. Sorry, with Kozvi Batsur. How old was he? Zimri. He was over 80 years old. He was 80 years old. He was over 80 years old. So the Mefashim say it wasn't a nisayon of Ta'ava. There he thought that he's going to protect Am Yisrael by doing Avirah, permit the Goya, and forget the Avodah Zarah. But either way, you see that it's not the Nisayon that we read the simple Gemara. Yes, the Gemara can be read on read in many levels. And the same teenagers are going to read the Gemara is going to say, oh, you got to be careful on a level of a tzaddik that's on a high level. Yosef a tzaddik, he doesn't have a Yetzirah to go with Potiphar. He has no Yetzirah physical to go with her. He has the Yetzirah, he sees Ephraim and Menashe comes from her. Because at the end, he ended up marrying the daughter of Potiphar. So he sees Beruach HaKodesh that there's here a tikkun to do. So you understand the Nisayon, but after the Torah says no, it's no. So Rabbeinu says there's a sod here. כי באמת אין לו ניסיון כלל. מי שיודע מעט מגדולת הבורא יתברך, כמו שכתוב, כי אני ידעתי כגדול השם, אני ידעתי דייקה. אין לו נחשב ניסיון כלל. If you understand a little bit the greatness of Hashem, it's not a Nisayon. Rabbeinu said a kosher Jew you put from a lady that's willing to do anything with him, it's not even a test for him. It's not even on his radar. He's going to run away from it. Then chiluk etzli ben zachar nekeva. We already saw in Shifre that Rabbeinu said, by me, a man and a woman, there's no difference. אני רואה תאווה כמו שאני רואה אותך. I see the tava like I see you. היה לי ניסיונות אין מספר, אך אין לו ניסיון כלל. אך בעת שהיה ניסיון, היה גם כן כמה ניסיונות. So there was levels, I think, in Rabbenu's life as well. There was when he was young, there was nisyonot. And he's saying it's not a nisayon, but it is a nisayon. So there's a simple nisayon, and then when a person gets on a higher level, there's still maybe the nisayon, but not for the physicality. There's a different level in the nisayon that he's not explaining over here. Either way, Rabbenu said that he got out of it completely, 100% pure olive oil. And Rabbenu said because of that, the purity of the tzaddik that he has, when it comes to his Torah, your Torah depends on your Shmirat HaBrit. Even the levels of Torah, Rabbenu says in a few places, your levels of Torah that you will learn depends on your Shmirat HaBrit. The more your Shmirat HaBrit, the more we open you gates of Torah. So a person's zochet to sit in a shul, it means that he has a certain Shmirat HaBrit. If he's zochet to sit in Gemara, another Shmirat HaBrit. To learn Sodot HaTorah, you need a schut. It's not for everybody. And a person who is kadosh, even on Shabbat, Rabbenu says over there, he has the next level of Torah. So if a person's completely pure in his tavot, his Torah is completely pure. So not only what you're able to learn, what you're able to teach. That's why Rabbenu says, by me, the difference between the sichat chulin, the simple mundane conversations, when you're walking, when you're going in the carriage, when you're walking to the mikveh, when you're in the grocery store, of the tzaddik emet, is higher than the Torah of the other tzaddik. That's what Rabbenu says. That's why everybody's flocking to Torah Rabbeinu. There's so much Torah. Yeah, and it's much deeper over here, and it's a lot more mipulpal maybe. It's so simple. You're right, but since it came out of Rabbeinu's mouth, since it came from his heart, these things work. Anybody else will say the same things, it won't affect you. You can say the same things, it's not going to affect. And the truth is, the more pure the teacher is, the more it affects. But if Rabbeinu is the purest, so every itzad that you're going to get from him is 100% effective. And even though 99.9 is great, but 100% is a different level. That's why this neshama, this door, where we're so low, where we've fallen so low, we need the highest doctor. We need the highest medicine. That's why Rabbeinu came, has revealed himself only now. One of the tzaddikim had machloket Rabbeinu. They found a letter recently, I think that it said, somebody told me, I was once in 5 towns, somebody told me they found it, that they told him, Rabbeinu, why were they chorek on him? Because he's saying things that's not for now, it's for 200 years later. You're too early, 200 years early. And the truth is, it's right. 200 years ago, in Chasidiot, they wouldn't speak to Bachrim about life. 100 years ago, 50 years ago, don't talk, Kedusha, don't look, we're isolated, don't tell us about anything. Today, even the big Admurim, they now made a psak that you sit with a Bachar at 13, you explain him everything. Because he's going to find out everything. Give him the tools. So Rabbeinu already gave the tools 200 years ago. And what Rabbeinu was speaking about back then, why he's speaking about Niyuf? Why he's speaking about the things? Don't speak about these things. It was a different world. But Rabbeinu saw where we're going. So he gave already the books that are going to be needed now. Ashreinu Matav Chelkei.